just spray me down to where it's on top of the clothes, but, you know, it could still kind of go through, but enough to let me run past them to where they're just like, their first instinct isn't, ooh, delicious food. Their first instinct is, ugh. And then if I stayed there a little bit, sure, over time they'd probably come after me. But for me to run to the door, I think I could get them to flinch enough. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Weird Flex.
But okay podcast. The podcast is work for your workouts, weaves, and exercise knowledge. And this is what we do. We talk about cosplay and all this other great stuff. If you want to know more about our podcast, email us at weirdflexpodcast. Shit, I fucked it. God damn it, Katy. You trusted me to do this. I messed it. You do it.
I trusted you. All right, okay. Hey, guys. Welcome to the Weird Flex But Okay podcast, your comedy, weaves, workouts, and advice podcast where we answer your questions. If you would like to submit a question, please email us at weirdflexbutokaypodcast@gmail.com. The music you've heard in every episode is by What's My Name on Instagram and Soundcloud. We did it. We're here. We're alive. Can we just take a moment to breathe?
Yeah, we can breathe.
It's ASMR time.
How are you supposed to breathe with no air?
How am I supposed to breathe with no air?
Is that woman still recording music?
You know, this is the second time we've started our podcast with music-based questions. And, you know, honestly, I'm into it. And I have no clue. But I need to know.
Was she the girl who sang Tattoo?
Just like a tattoo. Jordan Sparks.
Yeah, what about her? Is she still around? Right? Is she still around?
I mean, I know she's still alive. I just don't know if she's doing music.
Like Kesha and Akon?
Akon.
I haven't heard about Akon in a long time. I haven't heard Akon sing in a long time. Is he in jail?
I really liked Kesha. Kesha had this song like,
I love her song.
Next
what was it? Tonight we're going hard. I love that shit.
Yeah.
You know, we're superstars. Hot and dangerous. If you're one of us, then roll with us.
Then roll with us.
And we make
the best.
I love that shit.
Dude, Kesha was so great.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I miss Kesha.
Mm-hmm.
I know she was going through some stuff for a while on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Like with lawsuits and stuff.
Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah, but I hope that she is doing okay because I haven't looked into Kesha in a while. But her music is great.
Yeah.
She is beautiful and stuff.
Yeah.
Yay. So, Jordan, what have you been up to? Do you have any exciting things, I don't know, happening in the next few days maybe?
I get to eat ice cream cake, so that's good.
Really?
Yeah. And I guess I'm going to the horse con. But I go to that every year. But this is the last one. I'm going to be crying my eyes out on Sunday because it was my very first convention ever. And so, like, now I'm just like, oh, God, this is the final time. And what's going to happen is Sunday.
Happening!
Every time I know what's gonna happen because Saber Spark, my friend Saber Spark, the YouTuber y'all know now, and Paleo, like Saber's talking crowd, like, oh, I'm gonna do the crab dance at the final finale, but like you know damn well what's gonna happen is they're gonna play that damn Celestia's ballad song of "You've Come Such a Long, Long Way." Then he's gonna start reminiscing about like, oh crap, I would have never met all my friends if it wasn't for this. I would have never met my girlfriend if it wasn't for this. I would have done this, and then all of us are just gonna ugly cry on Sunday in a big group huddle, and it's just gonna be. It's weird too because there's some people like, for instance, I've known Paleo and Hero, those are also our friends who are YouTubers, for like 7 years now, and I know they have cried during various things, but I've never seen them cry.
Yeah.
So it's just like that's what I'm anxious about. Like when you've known someone for a long time, if you've never seen them cry before. So it's like an anxious thing of like, oh God, I just know. And then like my friend Race, I've never seen him like ever. Like he's always a beacon of positivity. So if he starts crying, then I was just like, oh, I'm destroyed, man. Don't do this to me. Oh God, yeah, it's gonna be. Oh God, that's gonna be horrible.
Oh, heck.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big emotional mess. And then we're gonna group.
But it's also gonna be fun because I saw that Paleo put together like a '90s playlist that he's really excited about.
Early 2000s playlist, yeah.
Oh, early 2000s playlist.
'90s and early 2000s, so it's gonna be like a great combination.
It's gonna be fucking wild.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be sick.
We're gonna all have fun. And he had made a tweet that kind of sums up how I'm feeling too. about how just like he's excited to just like hang out with everybody in the room and like play songs and dance, and I'm just like, that's what I want to do.
Yep.
Like,
That's what we're
I
gonna
just
do.
want to walk around and explore this con, see how it works, meet people, and also just like have chill times at night, like with everybody.
Right.
And it's gonna be awesome.
Yep, that's pretty much what's gonna be happening for the next 5 days. Well, I mean Wednesday, yeah, because I gotta finish my thing. Speaking of things, I was sponsored by Funimation finally for Don
It's
Bruno and
true!
Kira Matero. Yeah, people, finally.
I was so proud.
Thank you. Yeah, they messaged me and were like, "Hey, we noticed you around, and we had this much increase in sales because of you. So would you like to join our thing and we can sponsor you?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" And so like I just got sponsored recently, and it was super cool. And now I can review the things and not worry about copyright knowledge and all that stuff because I'm sponsored by them and they take care of all that apparently. So yeah,
Yes.
cool. That's gonna be fun. I can't wait to start doing
It's
that.
just so cool. Like, and Jordan had told me about this a little bit when it was in the works, and the whole time I was just like, oh my god, I can't wait for everyone to know, and they'll be proud of him too. And when he told me the idea that you did in your video of you getting a phone call,
Yeah.
like, and being like, oh, okay, this episode is sponsored by Funimation, I was like, yes! And when
Yeah.
you did it, it was so perfect.
Yeah, because I built it up. Like, I'd been building it up since May. Like, literally since May, I was, like, talking about, like, soon my babies. Soon you will be with me. And then I just been constantly just posting about. And what's funny is, like, I'm noticing, like, every time you type in how heavy the dumbbells you lift are on YouTube, I pop up. But then people are starting to use my name as a tag for their videos. So it's like every time they, like, try to, like, talk about the dumbbell show, I notice in their video tags it says Jaxblade, and it's just like, okay, so I'm so associated with that show now. You have to put my name in there just to.
Oh my god!
That cracked me up. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Branding on point.
I see you. I see y'all. Okay, that's cool.
That's so exciting.
This could be cool.
Yes.
Oh, God.
And like, I think there was one more exciting thing too. You'd mentioned that one of the voice actresses tweeted at you.
Oh yeah, Madeline. She's a voice actress of Hibiki in the dub of How Heavy the Dumbbells You Lift Are. And since Hibiki's been my fave character for like the last 2 years because of the manga, like I love that manga. So I was like, oh my god, that is so good. And then I was like, I contacted her. Well, no, she made a tweet about it. And was like, oh, I'm happy to announce I'm voicing Hibiki in this series. And then I just commented, yo, you killed it as a role. I want to say that. And then she was like, oh my god, I just want to say, like, I watch your videos all the time, and I just want to say you did a great job. And I was like, oh my god. So it's like it's always funny when you're a fan of someone, and then you find out they're a fan of you, and you have like this little like thing back and forth. So that was awesome. It was so cool.
It's just like so many good things are happening. So yes, go watch the series, support it officially, and watch all of Jordan's videos reacting because they are amazing.
Yeah.
Like from the cute little logo stuff he has designed versus just like the content in general. It's really cute and wholesome. Yes. And one thing I'm excited about that happened recently for me is I'm going to be in an improv murder mystery troupe thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. I auditioned, and it's in Birmingham. Well, they have, like, a lot of them all over, but they have one in Birmingham, too. And so I'm really excited because I'm going to get to do improv again, also in a murder mystery setting. It's going to be really fun.
Nice.
And I hope whenever I get started, I just finished all the paperwork and stuff, and so we're going to start doing training and all that fun stuff soon. And then I can start doing shows, and I can post about them, and it'll be fun. And yay!
Nice.
Also, I'm going to BronyCon.
Yeah.
We're all going to have fun brony times.
HorseCon, here she comes. The first and
HorseCon.
final one.
HorseCon.
HorseCon. When you're with our group, you
HorseCon.
eventually join the HorseCon, whether you like it or not.
It's true. It's true. I'm so excited.
It's going to be awesome.
And speaking of being excited,
Oh, is that a segue?
and animals, speaking about animals like horses, Jordan, why don't you take us to our first question?
Okay, sure thing. This one comes from Osaka Zach, and he asks, you're stuck in a room and want to escape, but there are only 3 exits, each guarded by a beast about to converge upon you. The animals are a grizzly bear, a tiger, and a saltwater crocodile. The Salty's door is in 4 feet of water. You are armed with an iron shield, pepper spray, and small but sturdy sharp sword. Which animal do you charge at to make it towards the exit? Osaka Zach. Okay, so this is... I'm gonna Jaxify this question because this is what I
All
always
right.
do. All right. So first off, they're gonna converge on me, which indicates they're all coming towards me. I'm gonna make two of them fight each other, and while there's a distraction, I'm gonna go
Ooh.
across that one and go away. So like, I feel like the bear and the tiger would get along with each other, and I feel like I can out jump a salty. Like, I know they're fast. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not underestimating. They're fast, but I feel like if I jump and then like spray it in the eyes and then it's like switching around in the water, I can like just try to run. But it's like 4 feet of water, so I would be. Like, I'm not gonna try and do a thing where I'm gonna try and outswim it. Like, that's mental. But yeah, I would try to go for the salty. To me, the salty is the one that like you have to watch out for, because I feel
I
like Go ahead.
I feel like that one's really fast. But what I see here is like they're each guarding their specific door, and I feel like if you approach
and they're converging,
their door,
though.
yeah, what I think it says is if you get near their door, they're gonna converge upon you. So I don't think they're necessarily gonna they're gonna like gang up. I think it's like, which one do you go after?
Well, okay, so let me read this again. It says, but there are only 3 exits guarded by each beast about to converge upon you. So what that indicates to me is, like, let's say you're standing at the end of a room, the beasts all notice you at the same time, and then they begin to converge upon you. That's what I'm taking it as. Because it's like, they're not, like, converge means come together. So it's like, okay, they're all gonna come together eventually. So I'm like, okay, yeah, of course, if they're all coming together, then I know which one I'm gonna go for if they're all coming at me at the same time. Because it's just like, okay, yeah, then I'm just gonna try and make them fight. Because like, if I have this pepper spray, I'll just spray it in the air. Then that'll obviously get in one's face, and then I'll just go the crocodile's way. If they're, because it's not saying they're stationary, staying there. It was like they're guarding, and then they turn around, and it's like, hey, look, food, and they all just start converging.
Yeah, I definitely think the crocodile would be the fastest. I think with the pepper spray, but the crocodile has water, it could wash its eyes out pretty quickly. I think the bear would be the best one to hit with the pepper spray for it to be down. So I think I would have to run at the bear first to get that pepper spray, and then get out the door.
I feel because the tiger's the fastest on land. Like on land, the tiger's fast. Yeah, the tiger's fastest on land. So like that's the one you have to take into account. Because so it's like, okay, the bear's fast, the tiger's fast.
Bear would be slower than the tiger. So I think I'd have the best chance facing the bear with the pepper spray.
The best chance you would have, in my opinion, would be to block the tiger and then let the bear try to come, and then him and the tiger will get into a fight with each other, because it's like, oh, I want this, no, I want this, and then it's just like they get into a little fight, and then the crocodile is going to be trying to sneak up on land around you, and then it's just like, well, the bear and the tiger are fighting each other. It's like, okay, I gotta fucking find out how to do this.
Maybe I could run I don't know how pepper spray would work in the water.
No, I mean, you don't have to get in the water. Like, the way I'm thinking of it is if the crocodile does that thing where it opens its mouth, you just spray it in its mouth.
Yeah, I guess what I'm thinking is maybe before the crocodile even gets out of the water, I could spray, I could run towards the door that's near the water, and just as I'm running, spraying the water near me. So, if the crocodile tries to come up there, it's going to get it all up in its eyes and mouth and stuff, so that would at least slow it down.
But doesn't its eyes have a special thing underwater, so, they can see underwater? You know that, layer?
Yeah, but if it wants to come out of the water, it would have to go through the spray. So I guess what I'm saying is
I think you should wait for it to open its mouth instead of just because I watched that movie Crawl recently, and even those are alligators, I got a feeling of okay,
I don't want to be near it when it's opening its mouth.
Well, no, if it opens its mouth, then that's a soft area. That's oh, if I had if a crocodile was near you and it opened its mouth and you had say a grenade, that'd be the perfect time to go poop. Throw it in there, boom.
Yeah.
Because if it's a soft area, the top of it is you can't chop through it properly unless you
That's true.
Get in the back of the brain.
I think I'm gonna die.
Don't give
but
up.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try, but I don't think I'm gonna make it out of this in a happy situation.
Don't give up. I'm telling you where to go. I'm saying.
Oh wait, and I do still have a shield and a sword.
That's hopefully hopefully when the tiger jumps at you and it you hits your arm, the shield doesn't break your arm, because those things have a lot of force when they jump.
Yeah, if the tiger jumped at me, maybe I could hold the sword in the air so it lands on the sword.
That would have to be perfect timing.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
because
true.
like those things are fast and blitz you, and if you had the shield and it like jumps in the air, you raise the shield up, you would have to like as soon as it connects with your shield, you would have to stab it like right in the and gut it. You would have to gut it really fastly because if you just stab it, it'll just be like, oh shit. And then hopefully the bear will eat the tiger, and then the crocodile will eat the tiger, and then you can like go do.
Ooh, that's true. Because if I draw blood from something, it'll be distracted. Like, ooh, I want to eat this thing. Because I'm just realistically, I'm just another piece of meat in the room.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's a full-out tiger like bleeding there for the taking,
mm-hmm.
like it has a lot more delicious meat on it.
Especially if
like,
you gutted
readily available. Yeah. So that's true. And also that would apply to the bear. If I could gut the bear.
I don't think you could gut that. I think their skin is too tough.
Oh, really?
Because I think bear skin, like, you have to be really strong. I feel like if a tiger, like, just from, again, you would have to be insanely lucky. It's not like the movies where you could just be like, oh, yes, and so I held up the tiger and then I stabbed it in the gut.
But
like,
isn't the tiger faster than the bear?
Yeah, it is.
Like,
it's
wouldn't
super
the bear be
fast.
slower,
so if it jumps at you, right, and does that thing where it lunges at you like Scar in The Lion King, you would have to have your sword like prepped up in the back, like already pierced out, and then like when it lands on you, it like impales its heart or something like that, and then dies. And then when it's dead, they can eat that instead of you. But it's just like
that's true.
You have
Ideally,
to be,
that would be good.
But you can't let it like run up and tackle you. Like it has to it would have to do that jumping thing where it's in the air, and then you have the time to react and pull out the sword and do that, because you can't do a thing if it like smacks it.
I have a theory, or I have a suggestion that could potentially get me out alive, but not in full condition. But I have a suggestion.
What, cut your arm
off?
off?
If no. Although that is something, I guess, in the realm of that. But so these animals have a big sense of smell, like a really good sense of smell, right? Mm-hmm. And pepper spray not only would fuck with your eyes, but also like the smell, right?
Yeah.
If I just spray myself with pepper spray, not on my face, but like all over my body to where I just reek of pepper spray. And yeah, it's probably going to leave burn marks on me. It's probably going to do whatever on me. Do you think they would not want to take a bite? Because they don't want to come near me because of the smell. Because it's so strong.
Oh, shit. I think, honestly, I don't know. Like, I think the crocodile might just kill you out of spite. Just like, I'll eat it later. Like, because like the crocodile, if you spray yourself.
But no, but if it bit into me to kill me, it's going to be like, ah, like it's in its mouth. Like.
Yeah, but it can like, I feel like it could grab your leg and then just like drag you to the water. And
no, I'm talking about before I even go in there, I'm going to spray my whole body with pepper spray. Like, not my head, but enough of my body, 90% of my body, to where I just reek of pepper spray.
I feel like you do more damage to yourself than to the creatures, because they would just.
But I'd be alive.
No, because I feel like the tiger could still like swipe you just for the hell of it. It wouldn't want to get near you, but it could swipe you still, and that would just like one swipe from a tiger.
No, but what I'm saying, I'm
off.
just trying to distract it because I just need to get to the exit. Yeah. I just need to get out. It's not like I'm going to be here for days or something. It's like I need to just make it to where they avoid me enough to where I can run for the exit. Mm-hmm. Right. So like if I smell horrid enough of something that would hurt like their senses to be near me, would that give me enough of an advantage to get out the door? Like, not that over time they wouldn't come after me, but I have a limited amount of time here, and I'm thinking quickly.
Possibly.
Yes. I think it's a good strategy.
But you have to, like, make sure you can still, like, run, because, like, that shit will...
Well,
having that much on your body would still affect like, your senses. Like, I don't think you'd be able to, like, run as fast as you would want to
I think how I would do it, because I think in this situation I am clothed. I don't think I'm naked. I think I have some cloth on me. So, like, I'm going to assume jeans, t-shirt. Because, like, I assume when I got put into this situation, like, I was probably, like, taken, or I don't know. But I probably have, like, my underwear, my bra, my t-shirt and my jeans, and my shoes. And so maybe I could, like, tie, like, part of my shirt over my face to where, like, I'm not breathing it in as much. Mm-hmm. And then, like, I could just spray my body over the clothes. Like, a little bit will get on my skin, but, hey, if I'm alive, as long as it's more than 90% of my body, just spray me down to where it's on top of the clothes. But, it could still kind of go through, but enough to let me run run past them to where they're just like, their first instinct isn't, ooh, delicious food. Their first instinct is, ugh. And then
if you like shit on yourself,
if I stayed there a little bit, sure, over time they'd probably come after me. But for me to run to the door, I think I could get them to flinch enough.
if you shit on yourself and wiped it all over yourself, would they still want to eat you?
Well, probably, because animals eat that stuff. Like, that stuff has nutrients in it. So that
Okay,
probably
but
wouldn't
let's say you
I'm talking
shit
about
and
pepper
vomited
spray.
on yourself. Like, let's say you shit and vomited on yourself, and you
Well, they're not grossed out by that.
I mean, like, would they still like want to go, ooh, food? If you have shit and vomit all over you, because I feel like that's still
Probably.
just like, I'm not really hungry.
Because,
right
like,
now.
if dogs will, like, sniff and eat shit, like, I
But these
assume
dogs
that it's
that-
not.
I mean, like, again, like, I don't feel like, oh, if you were covered in, like, crap, like, I don't feel like it'd be like, oh yeah, this is something I want to go right towards.
I mean,
right
I
fast.
can also test that out. Sure, I can like do another layer of that just for like safety. Like, I think I've got a pretty solid plan here. Like, I think it's gonna cause some like external damage for sure, but I can walk, I can live and breathe, and I can get out of that room.
I guess. Yeah.
I did it.
I
did it.
I don't
I
know.
solved-
I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't know if I can handle one-on-one, but I can get myself some time. Quick thinking, Katy. so your strategy is
Oh,
crocodile.
I already mentioned, yeah, crocodile. I already said my strategy. Make them fight each other and then go crocodile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have to stay away from the water though, because I don't want it to wash off.
No, I'm saying like, I feel
not
like
near
the
water.
door is not that far. Like, it's just like 4 feet of water, boom, 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 and then you get to the door.
Yeah. So you could probably go for like all of that. I need to stay away from the water so that my smell stays strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah! I just hope I have a nice old bottle of the spray.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So next question.
Hell yeah! Next question. All right, I did it. I thought of a Katy way to do it, and I actually am very curious to see what the effects of pepper spray on the skin are. Like, not the eyes and stuff, but like just on like your leg or something.
Mm-hmm.
So don't try that at home, kids. But hey, Jax and Connie, I have trouble finding what to say to start and continue a conversation. So do you guys have any tips for introverts who got a little social anxiety to help with my problem? Thanks a ton, you two. Yay! All right. So
Go first.
I'm also very anxious at times, and honestly, when I'm with people that like I know and stuff, like I'm real good. Or if I'm in situations where we're talking about stuff that I know and like I'm confident in that, then I'm good. But there are definitely situations where I'm like, oh god, I don't know what to do. So like my first step is usually to kind of read the situation, like, do I have a reason to talk to these people? Like, cause if they seem in a hurry or if it's this or that, like, then sometimes it's like, maybe you shouldn't start a conversation. But there are situations where it's like, we're all just here to have a good time. Let's have a chat. And just kind of chatting about something, like, that's relevant. Like for example, if you're on an elevator at a con or something and somebody has a cool costume, you can just be like, hey, cool costume. And, like, if you're just stuck in the elevator and you don't know this person, etc., and there's no context implicating that they don't want to be talked to, then just being like, how's your con going? Like, just talking about, like, relevant stuff, not asking or prodding into personal stuff. And, like, as the conversation goes, you just kind of see where it goes. And if it feels like it needs to end, then that's cool. Because you want to leave with a positive impression, not necessarily a lasting one. Because if you ever meet them again, they'll be like, oh, hey, that person was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I guess that's one way to kind of do that. And there's lots of situations where it's like, maybe don't start randomly talking to this person, or maybe do, but you have to kind of learn how to read that on your own. Like, for example, if there's a woman that's jogging and she's got headphones in, maybe don't stop her to be like, hey, how are you doing? Like,
Right.
she's probably busy.
Mhm.
Like, but if you're like both in line at the grocery store or something, you're just standing there and it's like, I don't know.
Right.
Maybe it's like, oh, did you see the sale on this? Do you know anything about that? And if
Mhm.
they seem like they don't want to talk, then cool, then don't talk. Like, I guess just like reading the situation to make sure you're not like bothering anybody, because especially if they seem like they're in a hurry or whatever. But usually just having like a chill, casual conversation, most context, that's okay. But just, reading it to make sure that like you're not making somebody uncomfortable. It's like, for example, if they're alone at night, like if there's a guy or a girl that's just like alone and it's dark outside and they're at a gas station and it's 2 a.m, maybe don't be like, hey, how's the weather? Like,
Right.
it's probably a situation where they just want to get the fuck out of there.
Right.
Yeah, because I've definitely had that experience where I'm just like, don't talk to me. I just need to get this gas.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but then I have plenty of times where I'm just like, hey, dude, how you doing today? Oh, I'm doing great. Mostly at cons, because cons are like built-in like conversation places.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's one take I have on it. What about you, Jordan? I know you.
I don't talk to people.
You're in the middle sometimes.
No, I really don't talk to people.
I am such an introvert if I don't know you. I just I am very much a person of just like, I keep my headphones on and don't start nothing, won't be nothing. And if someone like tries to start a conversation with me, it's just like, okay, I'll be cordial enough to reply.
Yeah.
But I'm not like trying to go out my way to talk to random people. So if like I'm in a room, if I don't know anyone, I'm literally just minding my business. I don't go like, well, I need to go talk to someone right now. So like, yeah, for me.
Well, and it can depend on like the situation too. Like, because if you're at a party, for example, where like there's kind of a social expectation of, I'm here to be social, then maybe it's more okay to initiate like a conversation. Versus at the grocery store, it might be a little different. Unless you just have like a question or something.
Right. Because I don't like, for me at parties, like I only go to parties I know people at. Like I would never go to a party where it's just like, oh yeah, you only know like 2 people there, because it's just like, oh, that's just gonna be awkward for me personally. So like that's why I just always keep that to myself when I'm doing this stuff, because it's just like I don't know, like that's why I say listen to Katy on this, because this is one of those times where I just go, oh yeah, I suck at like when talking to people. Like I just go.
I have an example of something that kind of helped me to meet people. When I was in Austin, I went to a party that Izzy invited me to.
Izzy from like, Rebel Taxi?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, Izzy had DM'd me like, hey, we're having like a little party and it's we're like a few blocks away if you want to like Uber over. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. Because like I wanted to spend some time with Izzy because I thought it was really nice that they reached out to me to like hang out. So I went over. Izzy was like the only person that I knew there, although I had heard that Jaxie might be coming in, which Jaxie is from Studio Yada. She's really cool. Her and her husband Tomar are really great animators. Or she's a great animator, he's a great voice actor, etc. And yeah, so I got over there, and Izzy was the only one I knew, and she was like, yeah, there's going to be a bunch of animators and people and stuff coming, and you might not know them, or you might. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And so I just kind of like hung out on the couch with her for a little bit, and then eventually when a bunch of people were coming through, we would exchange like the cordial, like, hi, but nothing like, crazy, because I was like, oh, they all know each other, they're here for that. But eventually people pulled out like the games. So like, for example, the Jackbox games are great ways to like kind of put yourself in a situation where like you can kind of get to know everybody, and it kind of creates a situation where you can comfortably have some fun conversation.
Right.
So like everybody was sitting around playing it, so everybody would be like, oh, whose answer was that? Oh, that's awesome. Oh, hey, by the way, who are you? I'm Katy, I'm this. And like, so games are, those are highly recommended for like meeting people. And then Brock Baker was somebody that was at the thing that I hadn't really seen him before, but he does YouTube impressions and stuff, and we were both playing the game and like giving funny answers and stuff, and then like we had like a chat for like 30 minutes because like we had such a fun time, and then we started talking about, oh yeah, you do this and that, and you know this person and that person, that's cool, and we found that common ground, but we were able to get to it from like just a natural place of, oh hey, I know this person, I do this, I do that, here's the common ground, and also we're just chill because we played this fun game together. Like, games are my favorite parties are parties with games. Like, because that same weekend, because after I had headed home that night, that same weekend there was another party, and I went over with Izzy and them, and it was the same people except Jaxie actually showed up, and they had Tetris 99, and so I was like, all right, we're gonna do this, but there were lots of people that were hanging around, so somebody else that was kind of sitting in the corner that kind of mostly just plays games, I was like, hey, do you want to play Tetris with me? And they were like, oh, heck yeah. And so for Tetris 99, though, it could only be like one player. So we just had the 2 Switch controllers, and I gave them one controller and me the other, and I was the person in charge of dropping the blocks, and they were in charge of switching the side of the blocks. And so we just like made a game out of it, and through playing the game, we were able to be like, oh, so what's your name? Oh, that's really cool. Oh, you should follow me on Twitter. Like, and then conversations would just kind of naturally happen. So I don't know if you're always going to be in a situation where you can play games, but go to the game room at a convention. Like, I love playing board games and like video games with people, because it really brings you together in like just a really fun way. Because like there's no stakes. Like, it's just about having a good positive experience, and you can build on that. Like, hey, remember when we played that game? That was really fun. I'm just ranting for 10 minutes.
No, go ahead. No, I'm
games.
listening. I'm actually taking notes, because it's just like, for me, I'm very much not a social butterfly. I'm just like, oh, if you talk to me, then I'll talk back, and then the conversation can go from there. But if like no one talks to me or makes a like effort, I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna sit here and mind my business. So yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. But that's why like games like Jackbox I think are so great, because most parties that you go to nowadays at these cons and stuff like are gonna have somebody being like, let's play Jackbox.
Right.
And like, at least that's been my experience surprisingly a lot. And then it builds to like the deep conversations or the whatever, because you're sitting next to these people for a while, and then it's just like, oh man, like the places that your conversations will go. And like if you ever just see like a big group or whatever, and you do only know like one or two people, generally that person will be nice and like introduce you to other people.
Exactly.
So, like, you can just hang. Yeah,
I try to be that
way,
person all the time. Like, I'll be that person. Like, if someone is new in a situation and they don't know someone, I'll always be like, so this is this person right here, they do this is my friend right here, they do this, and then like I just let them talk, and I try to bring up like a common ground they both have, so it's easy for them to have a conversation rather than just going, oh, this is so and so, those so and so, because it's just because I remember meeting new people, I always hated when I had to go and introduce myself when my friend wouldn't do it. It's just like, oh yeah, you just do it, or like sometimes when you didn't know someone's name, and then you do that whole thing, oh, I don't remember this person's name, and it's just like, and then you try to learn their name by saying, oh, this is my friend, and then your friend will go like, oh yeah, who's this? I don't know, why don't you ask them? Okay.
Another piece of advice, because it's something that I also had to learn, is if your friend is introducing you to someone new and you're excited to meet them or whatever, just treat it like, oh, hi, I'm this person, and just make it as positive of an exchange as you want. It doesn't just because they just introduced you to this person, that doesn't mean you have to sit there for 20 minutes and talk and it has to be perfect. Because I've had situations where somebody will introduce me to a person and we'll talk for 30 seconds, and then they'll be like, oh, well, I'm going to go over here and do this. It was nice to meet you. And your first thought will always be, oh God, they hated me, or oh God, it didn't go perfectly, or this or that. But throughout the night, you have more opportunities to talk to this person. It could just mean in this moment, that was your moment to be introduced. But as time goes on, you'll have more moments to get closer. And if you don't, it's fine. Just don't treat it with any expectations necessary, or not.
That's
not
how I met
expectations.
It was so awkward. It's the most
awkward
freaking conversation the first time, because I was saying hi to Nolan, her friend, and then I noticed Sid Snap, and then a few months prior she had talked to me on Twitter about because I was talking about it was a boobs versus butts conversation, and I was talking about how I'm a personal trainer and I made a bunch of butts, so my life is about that, and she asked me to help her with a butt, and I talked about it, and so literally the first time I ever met her, she was sitting down eating with Nolan, and I was just like, oh yeah, I know you, we actually talked on Twitter, you remember the butt conversation? And I was like, why the fuck did I just say this? Why did I say that? And she just looked at me and I was just like, yeah, this is a horrible first, I'm just gonna go, but it was nice meeting you. And she was like, nice meeting you, and then I walked away, and then 8 hours later she tweeted me, oh my God, it was you, I remember you now. And I was just like, yeah, it was me. Yeah, sorry. It is so hard. It's oh,
so,
yeah,
so
give
this
it time. My butt tweet. Yeah. Yeah, so awkward.
So just if you're anxious, just give it time. Don't put too much pressure on it. Yeah. When you're meeting somebody, don't put a lot of pressure on, oh God, it has to go like this or else it failed. No. If you just had a nice conversation with them, and then you move on to the next cool conversation throughout the night, maybe you'll have more cool conversations. And if you don't, maybe next time. The more you put yourself out there, the more opportunities that you'll have to meet cool people and have cool conversations.
Yep, exactly.
So yeah, there's a little bit of some networking tips / overcoming that anxiety. Just don't put a lot of pressure on conversations. The only pressure you should put on it is to be a good person and to have a fun, positive experience.
Yep. And speaking of positive opinions and experiences, Let's go to our next question.
All right. Let's do
this
it.
comes from Redskins Goat, and that's my dad's favorite team. Inspired by Twitter, what's an opinion that you feel like I will die on this hill and never back down? So, I'm just gonna. Mine's gonna be dark, so I'll let Katy go first in a second.
All
Because
right.
there are
You
so
have to
many
think.
opinions I have. Like, first off, I'll say this though. Start off, like, Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie. Don't at me. Like, it is, and like people will say, "Oh, it's not the best Spider." No, it's just because it's animated doesn't make it any less quality. Or like, there's so much stuff, and I'll get to my big one in a second. But Katy, go ahead.
All right, let's see here. So I have some lighthearted ones, I guess, at first. So my first thing that like I won't back down. I think this is a true opinion is that Rock Lee is objectively the best Naruto character.
Well, duh. What about Mike Guy though?
Yeah.
Mike Guy is just
He's good, but
older
he's
Mike
not
Guy.
Rock Lee.
He's older Rock Lee.
So yeah, but that
I mean,
because
because like if you watch Mike Guy's like flashback of when
I will
he
not
was a
back
kid-
down, Jordan.
I know,
back
I'm not.
down.
But I'm saying like if you watch Mike Guy's flashback to his childhood, it's just like, I mean, it's just like
Ooh, I
Rock
would
Lee
love
Prime.
a prequel.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm saying, like
I'd love one.
like that whole thing of like when he was like running 5,000 laps with his dad, who was a misfit, and no one like respected his dad, and no one respected Guy, and so he had to train his ass off to become respected by like people, and then he became
Oh,
like
yeah.
one of the
Oh, yeah.
strongest. Like that whole storyline was freaking motivating as hell. So it's just like, to me, that's like the same as Rock Lee. It's just like, yeah, I love them both, but it's just like, oh yeah, they pretty much have the same story background.
I can understand that perspective, but I will not back down.
Mm-hmm.
I have other opinions, but they're food based, and we have a question like that later in the pod, so I will save those. But why don't you give me a few of yours, and then I'll see if I can come up with like some darker ones. Because again, I have some controversial food opinions, but like we have a food question later, so I want to save those.
Jason Voorhees from part 6 and on would whoop Michael Myers' ass. Don't at me.
Okay.
Anyone? I hate the "if I kill you, I'm no better than you" trope. And then like, okay, so I guess this will just go into my dark one. So like, okay, so I have a big thing of like some motherfuckers just need to die and be put down, and then like.
Are you talking about like Darwin, like natural selection?
No, but besides
like,
that, like there's some people out there who are just so disgusting that it's like, no, you should not be alive anymore. Like, it's like some people say, oh, all lives are sacred. To me, it's just like, after a while, there's some things where it's just like, nah, you need to fucking go.
Okay.
Because like, all right, so this is where it gets dark. So when I was a teenager, I saw this, there was a show called Deadly Women, right? And it was about these, this couple that, and it would cover like various like women who did these horrible atrocities through like history and stuff like that. And like there was this couple, and what they would do is this woman was really in love with this guy, and this guy was like a sadistic serial killer. And so he was like, you know what? I really want to kill a kid just to see how it would feel. And she was like, oh, well, I love him, so I want to be with him. And so what they would do was their MO would be like to go near these moors where the school was and be like, oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Yeah, kid walking home from school. Could you help me with this real quick? I'm sorry. I can't do it. And then like the kid would come down and try to help him. And then the husband would sneak up and bash him on the head. And then like what they would do is like they would take the kid home and they would torture him. And then he was like, oh, and then they would do this really fucked up thing where they record the screams, and like you would hear the kid like, I just want to go home to my mommy and daddy. What's going on here? And then you hear him laughing in the background, and then they would like torture that kid and then murder them and burn them to death. And it's just like they did this to a lot of children, innocent children. So me seeing that as a teen, that made me cry, and it made me just go, no, fuck, you need to die. You need to be horribly medievally murdered.
They were caught, right?
What? And not like some bullshit. Like one of them was caught. One of them I think killed themselves. But it was just, it's stupid. It pissed me off to a point where it's just like, no. There's some shit that goes on that you need to fucking die. Because like, okay, for instance, I have this whole thing in media where they try to put this thing off like, oh, if you kill a bad guy, you're no better than them. I think that's just horse shit. Because like, oh, Harry Potter's no better than Voldemort then. Oh, the fucking future Trunks is no better than Frieza and the people who kills the planet. It's just like, it's such a stupid thing. Soldiers are no better when they have to like put down people in like their war thing. It's just, it's a stupid fucking trope that I really hate. And I'm sorry, I'm going to get passionate again for a second. But it's just like, it really, really disgusts me to the point where it's just like, people say like, oh, I'm going to take the moral high ground, you should be better. And it's just like, I have I think this is why I have no qualms with characters who kill their bad guys. You know, like Wolverine, Punisher, even Wonder Woman does this, or like Dexter Morgan, something like that. And all these people will call these people like, oh, they're monsters. Who are you to decide? And it's just like, that's the aspect I love. They openly acknowledge that they aren't good people multiple times, and they will gladly be a monster like fucking Godzilla and take out worse monsters. And I think it's fun to like have characters, you know, with high morals, like, you know, All Might or Superman or Spider-Man. But on the flip side, I love seeing people like the Punisher like kill these scumbags who do these most horrible things to these like innocent people with no recourse, and like, oh, I don't care. And it's like, sure, can he go too far? Yes, but that's what I like watching about, like, the lack of fucks. For me, I'm team anti-hero, borderline anti-villain for life. And let me say this, I want to say this really quick, because people always like get into my head respect that I don't respect other people's opinions. I respect that other people have their certain beliefs and opinions, but my mind, ever since childhood and teenage years, has never been swayed on this. Like, I've had teachers, college professors, family law enforcement friends, my parents, and others try to show me their side, and I accept it easily. But no matter what your opinion of my thoughts on this topic, it's not going to have any impact on the way I view people who kill their villains or people who kill evil people. It'll have 0% impact. It will have no effect on how I view the subject. But that doesn't mean I don't respect other people's beliefs on the topic, again, because it's a subject that we can agree to disagree on, or is no big deal. But I hate seeing innocent people die, and I love seeing people who cause pain to those who can't defend themselves, like, get what's coming to them. It's just like, oh, it's just like, if you kill me, you're no better than me. And it's just like, you know what, I can live with that, all right, because you're a piece of shit and you're gonna keep hurting innocent people. And
and I think it comes down to the nuance of like what this villain did, because like I think it's an argument of like, is the death penalty moral? I think there's a lot of people that are like, after a certain point, and it's establishing what that certain point is. Because like, I agree, anyone that rapes or kills a child should fucking burn at the stake. Yeah. Like, I'm with you.
Yeah, make them
like,
suffer.
Honestly, there's like this is a little weird. There's a little there's a fucking law. I don't know the status of it, but in Alabama, where I live, that's being discussed. I don't know how far along it is, or even if it's gonna happen, but about pedophiles that actually actively like act out and rape children, about them getting like their private parts, like
is that the cauterize, like the one where there's like
cauterize,
where they not as cauterize, it's like they make them into fucking eunuchs, right? Like they cut their
something like that. And part of me
castration
is like, you
castration.
know, castration, because like cruel and unusual punishment, like I understand why it's important to not pass certain boundaries, but on one hand, you know, it's also like when you have crossed other certain boundaries, maybe other certain boundaries should be crossed for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like I'm not perfect. I don't have like the perfect answer or like have the fullest opinion on that, but like for if there's somebody out there murdering people, like
gleefully
and
too,
not even just like because it's hard to really establish that too, because like when it comes to like murder and stuff, you know, we as individuals can justify a lot. Like we can say it was self-defense or this or that, and so there are lots of situations when it comes to killing where I don't maybe think that the death penalty should be okay. Like, but then there's specific situations, if it's like mass murder, or even just like you can pile the evidence to showcase this person was consistently doing this, like, and it wasn't just like, oh, this one time they were defending themselves or this or that. There's no nuance here. They were doing this. We have caught them. We have pinned it on them. Yes, death penalty. It's just the process of getting to that point of deciding if they did that certain line to deserve it. That's the nuance part that is a little more difficult to establish, which is why I agree. I really like those stories about like the anti-villains and heroes and stuff that have to struggle with those nuances in society. And like Vinland Saga is a show that just came out that I think you would like.
Oh yeah.
It's about old-time Vikings, and there's a main character who, in the most recent episode, he's a father, and then he has his son, and his son is very like, if there's a bad guy, we gotta kill him. Like, go. And the father's like, a real warrior doesn't need a sword, and you should always try to talk first and do all this stuff before, getting to that point. And I agree with that perspective in that, like, it should not be your go-to.
Mm-hmm.
If there is a way before violence happens to decompress it, to like, to
That's what Wonder
talk it
Woman
out,
said.
to get it, to get it to a point where we don't have to do this. I think 100% you should do that first. It should never go straight to the other place. But if after consistent, like, attentive trying to de-escalate and do all that stuff, it still doesn't work, and this person is actively, like, murdering or torturing people, then yeah, death penalty.
Yeah.
Like, and so I won't say too much about Vinland Saga, but after this most recent episode, it has shown me that what kind of series it's going to be, and I think you would probably enjoy the journey that's about to happen.
Okay.
It's on Amazon streaming, and it's actually a very realistic tale too, because apparently it draws from real history.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm excited to watch more of it. Me and Zach are really liking it.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually had a situation in this recent episode that made me very like, what the fuck? That kind of is in line with your thing about, like, if somebody needs to die, they need to die. Or, like, taking of innocent lives and stuff. And it just created a situation where I was, like, frustrated, and the other character's very frustrated. And so you're kind of experiencing what they're experiencing, and it's like, yeah, it's a really good show with a conversation about this very topic. And yeah. So I think when it comes to that opinion, there is definitely nuance when it comes to deciding, what is crossing the line. But I think once you get there, there's a lot of people in the world that agree that certain consequences are deserved.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, it's just like, I don't care about your life or anything like it's just like, okay, you can think I'm a monster or whatever. I don't care. I'll gladly be the monster to take out worse monsters if that's the case, because, like, I'm not gonna let this sick fuck live for what they did. So yeah, like, it's one of those situations, because, like, Wonder Woman had a great quote about, like, if you don't have to kill, don't do it. But, like, she had a quote where she was talking to Batman, she was talking about Superman, and she was talking to, like, there's a reason I don't have a rogues gallery as long as you, Bruce, or the Flash is. When I have a villain, I deal with them. So it's just like, she just makes sure, like, yeah, when I have a problem, like, they're gone. Like, I make sure they're gone. They don't just keep coming back over and over. So, like, that was something I was like, oh, I respect that a lot.
Yeah. So I guess I'm trying to think if I have one opinion that I would not waver on, because I do, try to look at a lot of things through a lot of nuance, but there are certain aspects that it gets to where it's just like, where the nuance is kind of gone. Yes, they deserve to die,
and I hope they burn in hell.
Yeah. And so, like, I'm definitely with you there. And I'm trying to think. What's a controversial, like, I stand by this opinion that I have that isn't about food? Let's see. How about dang, I got nothing. I'm gonna think of one later, and I'm gonna be like, damn it, I'm gonna, like, write it down, and then on the next episode of the podcast, I'm gonna be like, okay, guys, here's my opinion.
Right.
Because I don't think I can think of one right now. But yeah, I think that was a really good one.
Okay. Cool.
That you brought up, and I think we had a good little conversation around it, and I think I would like to move on to our next question, if that is all right.
All right. Yeah, let's go.
Woo, let's go to a cheerful sort of place. All right. This question actually comes from a good friend of mine that just moved.
Kimochi.
Yes, Kimochi Sensei. She just moved, and she wants some advice, and I want to give it to her. Me and Jordan, we're gonna advise you real good, Caitlin. So here we go. Hey, Katie and Jordan. So I recently moved across the country for a 2-year job contract, doing some cool stuff before I go on to grad school. With that comes being completely new in a place, and I'm not sure how to meet people naturally, if that makes sense. When I went off to my undergrad, it was a little easier since we were all in the same boat and it was a small college town. I'm not sure where to meet the cool kids or people that can deal with my weeby science-obsessed self anymore. I do leave my place, but I don't want to come off on people of trying to force myself into a friendship. Maybe I'm just being a little bitch about it and shouldn't worry, because friendships will eventually come from the right people. But I'm sure other people run into this problem too, so maybe this will help them as well. Big much woes, Kimochi Sensei or Seabass, or whatever you feel like calling me. Yay! So yeah, Like, Jordan, do you have any experience with like moving to a new place and like?
Oh, see,
Stuff
again,
like
like
that.
I'm like a hermit. Like, what's funny is like I think about it, like my friend. I met most of my friends at my job. That like when I worked at Burger King for the 6 years I did. Like one of my close friends said, "You'll meet on Wednesday." We like
Yeah.
worked together, and like we just since we worked together, we just like got like, oh yeah, you like this, I like this too, and then like that's pretty much how we started talking to each other. And then like sometimes
Yeah.
at the gym when I take classes, it's just like, oh, I'm taking a class, and it's just like, hey, you're always in this class at this time of day, and it's just like you just talk and then you fist bump, and it's, oh yeah, you like that,
Yeah.
you like that, and then that's just how conversations go. It's just from over and over seeing each other again, but it's never like I don't go out
Yeah.
my way to just do it. It's just like a noticing thing. Like for instance, there's this dude in the gym who always wears like Goku or anime or DBZ or like nerd fitness wear. And I
Yeah.
always wear nerd fitness wear. So when we started
Yes.
noticing that we were constantly wearing nerd fitness wear, every time we see each other, we just fist bump and then like we get onto our sets, and it's just like that's literally our relationship. I just go in like, sup man, boom, fist bump, and then we go on and to get our workout in, and that's it. Like that is all we
Yeah.
do. So it's just like, yeah, that's simple stuff like that. So
So it's
I-
just about putting yourself in situations where there's people that might have stuff in common with
yeah,
you.
so I suggest like you could do it like Retzko and take a yoga class and just like, oh yeah, you two go here too.
Yeah.
Because like that's how I meet people. Like it's just like, oh, if I go to a class, it's like, oh yeah, I keep seeing you in this class over and over. So it's just like, okay, yeah, we bonded. But like most of the time, I
Yeah.
don't go out my way. Like my friend Tommy actually brought up a good point the other day. You'll meet him too on this weekend. But it was like he made this tweet that I'll read right here, and he was like, not that I'm saying my online friends are bad or anything. I've just been marathoning half in the bag all week, being like, man, I'd love to just hang around with people IRL and shit talk bad movies or something. It's not the same doing it in a call. And it's just like my friend, and then Paleo was like, same dude, I wish we all lived in like at least the same state. Because it's so cool to just have friends
Yeah.
around, like, because online friends is like, oh yeah, I can talk to you anytime and it's cool, but I do miss that dynamic like you have, Katie, where you just go, I'm gonna go over to my friend's house this weekend and hang out. Like I don't really have that like with things, because all my friends
Yeah.
are busy and we're all like spread around. So yeah, it's a bit odd. Like it's crazy that regard, like because like I know Paleo and Hero live in the same state, but they live like hours away from each other, and then Saber
Yeah.
Spark lives by himself, and then like I live by myself, but I have Z near me and stuff like that. So it's crazy. Like our
Yeah.
friends are in LA, like they see each other from time to time, but then I think they're busy with their work. But it's just, it would be nice
Yeah.
if there was like a cul-de-sac where we all just there, like, hey, how's it going? Like Ponyville. Like it's just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, let's go over to so and so's house. Yeah, they're right there. Hey, how's it going? Because like you don't want to be like, I would never say like you never want to. That's something I learned from a few times since various things. Like I would never say like, oh yeah, wouldn't it be cool if we all lived in the same house? No. If you live too close,
No.
you start to hate each other after a while. Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's something that happens if you like live together for a long period of time. It's just like, okay, yeah, this isn't working out. So if you like lived in your own houses that were close to each other, that'd be cool. It's just like, yeah, you want to go here this week? Oh yeah, let's do this or something. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, and I think one like important thing to build onto that is the fact that whatever it is that you're going out to do, don't do something necessarily for the purpose of, oh golly, I hope I meet people here that'll be my friends, but do something that is
You like.
something, one, you enjoy and like doing, two, you were probably going to do anyway, so it's not like the pressure of like, while you're there, if you don't meet anybody, then you don't feel like you've done anything good and you've wasted your time, because that can just create like a cycle. Like for example, Jordan says at the gym, like he's already going there, he's doing something for him, and along the way, friends or relationships are supposed to build onto what you're already doing. They're supposed to just be a bonus and like a thing to help you through life. They're not supposed to be like, like you have to do stuff for you first. And so like when Retzko did like the yoga thing in Agretzko, for example, I think she was going in with the mindset of, I want to just try doing this. But because she was there for her, she was also able to like build connections and become closer to her the people at work and call them friends because they had something in common. She wasn't just going there to try to like blend in necessarily, but like she had a desire to do it. So kind of look at your intentions there. Whenever you're like deciding to do some new stuff, just like living your life and putting yourself in situations that you want to be in, like for stuff that you want to do that also have people there, that's the best way to do it. Because like Yeah. So if you have, if there are like game nights or video game nights, board game nights or whatever, anywhere that you are, maybe going to those places. Because like even if you don't necessarily meet best friends right away, you get to play some cool games and have a positive night. And eventually you might be a regular there. Or if there's a coffee shop that you really like, just go in there a few times a week if you're just like, or a bakery or something. Like, I want to really get some cool stuff from here because I already want to. And who knows, maybe when you get there, you'll get a donut and somebody else will get like a different one. You can be like, oh, that looks really tasty. Like, and you're already going there to do like your sciencey stuff. So there's probably going to be people at the school or whatever you're going to that have some similar interests than you. That like just naturally based on proximity and stuff, you guys will have conversations and eventually they might have some already established friend groups that you could maybe like pop in on sometime. Like just kind of not putting too much stress on the when it has to happen or how or this or that, but just like creating situations to potentially have positive experiences with people. And that's the best way to do it. Because like when I moved to Montevallo for a little while, it was really cool. And it was still in Alabama, so like it's not quite your level because you like moved like to different state. But like but when I got there, I just kind of focused on my studies and stuff, but the way I was able to make a few friends is because I was doing a lot of work for Falcon. And so I kind of had that built in, like we had this work we were doing, so then I would talk to the anime club because, well, I like anime, but also because we wanted to talk to them about Falcon stuff. And that's how I met Daniel, and then we became friends. And then my friend James, who was in my class, but he really loved Ruby, and we would talk about Ruby, and he was like, hey, let's make an abridged series. And then we're Kruby Productions now. So like just living your life, liking what you like, and if you find some common ground, share it with somebody, but it doesn't have to be the biggest deal because it'll just naturally turn into something cool if you're both feeling it. And I guess that's the best advice that I can give. And like it's scary, and I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that I can see you when I come out. I'm probably going to be messaging you soon to try to figure that out, but you'll probably listen to this podcast maybe before I message you. Oh God, I don't know. I hope you're having fun out there, Caitlin. I hope you're listening to this and that it makes you feel good because you're really cool. Okay, everybody go follow Kimochi Sensei on Instagram and Twitter. She's heckin' talented, cosplayer, scientist person, and she does cool panels. She works for Shout Out World. She's really awesome, and she's really great, and she's been a really positive force in my life, and I'm really glad to know her. And I really hope you're doing well out there.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yes.
Yeah.
But all right, enough of the mushy stuff. Let's get back to fighting.
Sure
Jordan, take us to our next question.
Okay. Food. Oh, okay. This one comes from, I love this person's name. Bobby Hill, world's greatest Hokage.
Greatest Hokage.
He says, or she says, and whatever, I'm not going to judge, a food you hate that everybody loves and a food you love that most people don't like. Well, mine's easy for food I hate that everybody loves.
Mine's
it's
easy.
It's just...
Oh, wait. Mine's for that I love that people hate.
Well, I have one for each. Like, one that, like, I guess it's kind of busted for me to say this, just, like, fruit. Because I can only eat orange, lemons, and limes. I can't eat anything else.
Yeah,
so, like,
yeah.
It's just... I mean, like, I'm glad I don't really care either way. But it's just like, yeah, I can't eat any other fruit. So, let me think. Let me think of food that, everyone loves that I don't like. Because most of the time when people say that, it's just like, well, it's fruit. Like I like pineapple pizza. It's just like it's fruit. I can't fucking eat it. I'm allergic. It's just like it's just like, okay, yeah. What is that? What the fuck? What is a food that I don't like? Oh, okay, I got one. Pudding.
Okay.
I don't like the texture of pudding. Like, that's a food like most people love. I don't like the texture of it. Like when I taste it. Yeah. Or like mayonnaise. Like, I don't know how many people like mayonnaise, but that's
disgusting. A lot of people don't like mayonnaise.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So I was saying like pudding though is a lot of people like pudding, and I just don't like the texture.
That's
like,
fair.
I prefer cake frosting, to be honest. Yeah, cake frosting is so much better than pudding in my opinion.
All right. Well, I have two controversial food combinations.
What's your good one? What's your bad one?
Well, first I'm going to start out with the ones that I love that people hate, and then I'll get to the ones that people hate that I love. Or no, I'm going to start with the ones that people hate that I love. I'm going to start there. Okay. I love ketchup on potato chips. But there are people that say it's gross.
I don't like ketchup in general.
Well, it's delicious and on potato chips. And you know what, world? I like ketchup on steak. I said it.
Okay. I mean,
People get mad when I do that, and that's why I'm assuming it must be controversial, because every time I mention, like, oh, can I get some ketchup for my steak, they're like, what the? Whoa, Katie! And I'm just like, what? It tastes good. And whenever I put, like, ketchup on my potato chips, they're like, Katie, that's disgusting. And I'm like, what? They're French fries, but crunchier. Like, it's amazing.
I just don't like ketchup in general, so you're just making me just go, okay, whatever you say.
Yeah, ketchup's real good. Oh, and something that I hate that people love, ranch dressing. I can't do ranch dressing. It's gross. Salad dressing is gross. Lettuce tastes delicious plain.
Oh, God,
I said
no.
it.
I can't agree with you there.
I said it.
Honey.
I said it.
That's a no from me, Chief. This ain't it, Chief, for me. God,
Ranch
I can't,
dressing sucks
lettuce by
ass.
itself is just
yummy.
It's just crunchy water.
Exactly. It's delicious.
No, it's not. It's just
I
crunchy
love water.
Dude,
Plain.
dude,
a
someone who
good-ass
did photo
glass
shoots-
of cold water is delicious.
yeah, a glass of cold water is refreshing. But, like, all right, someone who did photo shoots,
lettuce
and
is
this is what I had
refreshing.
to, like, eat constantly was just chicken and lettuce, like chicken salad for, like, to get lean for my fucking photo shoots. I'm very much in the camp of, like, I mean, it's edible, but it's nothing I'm like, oh my God, this is delicious. It's just like, yeah,
No, I love it.
Yeah. No,
Whenever
so
my
that-
tummy's hurting, like, I love just eating, like, a big old plate of
I like
lettuce. Or even if
spinach.
I'm feeling okay. Oh, I love spinach, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like condiments at all. Like, so I guess that would be a food that everyone likes.
I'm
I don't
picky
like,
about condiments.
I don't like mustard. I don't like ketchup. I don't like.
Yeah. I like honey mustard and I like ketchup and barbecue sauce. Those are my basic ass condiments.
What else is there? I feel like there's more condiments than I'm naming.
Ranch dressing can go fuck itself. You heard it here first.
I used to like ranch until I learned it was made from mayonnaise, so I don't like it anymore.
Wait, made from what?
Mayonnaise.
Oh God, no
Yeah,
wonder I
yeah.
hate it so much.
Yeah, exactly. I
Dude,
used to like it a
people
lot.
in middle school would dip their pizza in ranch dressing.
I know.
Fucking degenerates.
Yeah, I know, but it's like I understand people doing that from the past.
Degenerates.
I guess. I don't know if this is normal, but a lot of people in my middle school did it, like eat butter sticks. That was a bit odd to me. You know where you get like a stick of butter and you just eat it like it's a candy bar?
What?
Have you
No.
never seen people do this?
No.
That was always weird to me, and I was just like, I don't think that's tasty at all. But they were swearing
That is
by it.
terrifying.
So is that not a normal? I don't know, because I generally know. I just remember being like, that seems really
think
gross.
So.
Okay.
I've never seen that normalized.
I
seen
saw
like
it a lot in
I've
middle
seen
school.
like no.
Yeah.
Well,
that
damn.
was nasty. Butter, just stick of butter like as a candy bar. That was just odd. Oh shit. What else is there? Oh God. I'm thinking of one. There's one thing I know for a fact that people were like, "Oh, this is good," and I was like, "Oh, this kind of."
Alright.
Shit. What? Oh God. You know what? Here's one that I shouldn't be admitting because I'm a fitness guru, but I don't like. I guess for myself, I don't like eating vegetables. I prefer to drink them, or if they're cooked into my food. So like, so for example, like, all right, let's say I have. I hate this meal so much, but whatever. Chicken. Oh yeah, chicken. Oh, there's another one. Chicken. I don't like unless it's unhealthy. Like if it's unhealthy,
That's not really
chicken.
controversial. I love unhealthy chicken.
Well, I mean, like people like baked chicken, right? Like chicken breast by itself. I don't like chicken. I loathe chicken breast by itself or chicken just by itself. I absolutely loathe it. And it's just like I can only eat my chicken if it's unhealthy. Like I don't like chicken that's like good for you.
I like
unquote.
most forms of chicken. Like I love it fried, I love it baked, I love it steamed. Like
oh God, no! I hate steamed and baked. Like to me, that just seems so unappetizing. Like you know how there are some foods
that's fair.
that you
But
just
if
go.
it's seasoned properly, ooh, with like some vegetables and mashed potatoes, like
I love mashed
God.
potatoes.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I like.
those are
So
my favorite food.
what I was saying about vegetables is like, if I'm cooking a meal, like whatever it is. I like my I've got my carbs and my protein source, and then like, God, I gotta cook like some broccoli or spinach for the side. Now I like spinach by itself. I like spinach leaves, and I like broccoli, like crunchy broccoli and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
but
just
like
raw,
the fact like
just,
if I have to steam it or do anything like extra stuff and it's on the side. And then I have to like wolf it down. Like I'm that's not me. That's not for me. Like I just like to make my senzu shake where I blend like spinach and broccoli and oranges and stuff. And
Drinking
I just,
vegetables ain't for me.
You drink smoothies though, and that's what smoothies are.
But they're fruit, not vegetables.
Yeah, fruit with veggies.
I get like mostly fruit and dairy based smoothies.
My fruit,
not
my
vegetable.
smoothies are dairy, fruit, and veggies.
I'm not against trying it, but I couldn't do just a plain veggie smoothie. If it had like mostly fruit with like a little bit of broccoli sprouts or something, sure. But like the ratio
like-
has to be more sweet.
For my thing, it is literally, this is my senzu shake. Jaxblade's Muscle Fitness, whatever they do in Donbur whenever he does his thing. All right, my thing is, all right, so you get a cup of water. All right, people, listen to this. I made a whole video on this, but you can listen to me say it to you right now. So what
All
you
right.
do, you go in the kitchen, right? You need like, all right, so you're gonna need some green vegetables for this. You get a cup of water. You get half a cup of orange juice. You get some lemon juice, some lime juice. And because again, like I can only eat citrus fruits, this is why I do.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
so
yeah.
I pour this in like a cup, and then I pour that cup into the blender, and then I get a cup of ice. Then I pour that in the blender, and then I get 2 big handfuls of spinach leaves, and then I put that in the blender. Then I get an orange, and I
Ooh.
peel it, and I put it in the blender. Then I get like, now this is the part I know you don't like, but this is what they do in most smoothies, and I actually like this now. It's like I get some vanilla Greek yogurt, and I put it in there, and I pour it in there, and then like I get some chia seeds, some cinnamon, a tablespoon of honey, anything else I put in there? I don't think so. And then I blend it for 2 minutes, and I drink it, and it's delicious, and I can
That
get as
doesn't
many.
sound too bad. If you made the Greek yogurt like just regular yogurt, like
I mean,
that
what's the
sounds pretty
difference? I don't know
tasty.
what's the difference. Well, what's the difference between Greek yogurt and regular yogurt? I don't know the difference.
because
I
Greek
really
yogurt is very sour and tangy, and with that texture, I don't like it. But regular yogurt's just more like plain and sweet.
don't. I mean, if you blend it, like, can you really tell the difference though?
I guess I haven't tried it blended, so
Yeah.
I would be down for trying both and seeing which one's better. But I feel like I'd like the less tangy one better.
Okay.
Although it does have all the citrus fruits in it, and I do love some citrus fruits. So yeah, like that sounds pretty tasty.
Yeah. it
But I
is.
guess those are my most controversial food opinions. Like with the pineapple pizza stuff, like I don't like it, but I don't really care either way about it. But the ones that I've just consistently gotten like backlash for, which was weird, was putting ketchup on like potato chips.
Oh, you know
and
something
steak.
I do that I like is I like
What?
getting frozen Eggo waffles, like frozen Eggo chocolate chip waffles, and eating them out the freezer. That's just
Ooh,
delicious.
I like to eat cold French fries.
I've never done that before, so I don't know how to.
Yeah,
how it
like
tastes.
you like go to McDonald's, you put them in the fridge, and then you eat them. They give you the hiccups, but they're not bad.
Oh, I've never had that before, so yeah, I
Or
wouldn't know.
cold chicken tenders.
Yeah, cold
cold
chicken tenders
Chinese
are surprisingly
food.
pretty good. Like I'm surprised by
Dude,
that.
When I just didn't feel like microwaving shit, I would just eat cold Chinese like leftover noodles. Like
Oh yeah, that shit is good. That shit is really
it's good, man. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, so I have a question about like the chicken. So
Yeah.
so you don't like the baked kind of style chicken. Like when have you ever had like hibachi like
Well, yeah,
hibachi
hibachi grill, but they're
chicken,
like,
like-
they're seasoning it with like soy sauce and all that.
Yeah, okay. So you like that you're okay with that chicken if it's very seasoned.
Yeah, if it's like seasoned with like soy sauce and barbecue sauce or any kind of sauce like that, I'm fine with it. But if someone's just like,
Okay.
here's your chicken with a little bit of salt and some pepper and whatever, and then like you just eat it, and I got a side of vegetables on the side, maybe some brown rice.
Okay.
That is a very underwhelming meal to me that I
That's
would be
fair.
very
That's very
upset
fair.
with. Like I'll just be like, oh
Yes,
god, yeah, I don't
that's
like
valid.
This. Yeah, it's just. But if it was like, yeah,
Um,
they're just
Now
gonna
I
cook
want
it on the
Chinese
skillet.
food.
Yeah, I got some chicken. I got some whatchamacallit, yakisoba.
Sesame chicken?
Yeah, yakisoba.
Oh, yakisoba. Oh.
I eat
God,
all
I
the
want
chicken
it so
out of it,
bad.
so now I just have noodles. So I'm just like, okay, I can eat those for carbs, but I burned 800 calories for my push-ups today.
That sounds
so
like a
that's
dream.
good. I can pump it up.
Yes. But yeah, so anybody out there, tell us your controversial food opinions. Also, if we've talked about a question and you think you have a fun answer for it, please leave a comment down below because we would like to hear it.
Yeah, or leave comments. I expect to see
Yes.
10 comments on this video. If you get to this point right now and there's
How
not
dare.
10 comments on this video, how dare? Like, come on, y'all. Let us know you're listening. Every time I go, there's only like 5 comments on the freaking video, and it's just like, bruh.
Well, I
Are y'all
appreciate
even
it.
listening?
Like-
You make sure you comment when you finish and listen to this. Now, when you do it,
you're gonna comment right now that you heard what I said. All right? Now go freaking comment. What the fuck is wrong with you?
How dare you?
God damn it.
You
Shit.
you heckin' idiots.
Yeah.
Well,
out of here.
Just kidding. You're not heckin' idiots. You're beautiful. And we're going to go to one more question before we wrap it up. And we're going to end on a very fun, positive note.
Yeah.
So, greetings from Colorado, Jaxblade and Katy. I have a question for you both. Jax, what is your favorite Bruce Lee quote or piece of work that has inspired you or pushed you in any way? Have you read any of his books and would you recommend them? And to Katy, who do you look up to or who inspires you on a daily basis? Favorite quote, perhaps? By the way, I've checked out your work in Dr. Crafty. Love it. Thank you so much, person. So yeah, Jordan, tell me about Bruce Lee. Do you have any quotes or works or books?
Yeah, Bruce Lee is my idol. There's so many great quotes he's done. But like there's this one quote that I think actually inspired me the most because it's like it shaped how I am as a person, and it's basically absorb what is useful, discard what is useless, and add what is specifically your own. So I really like that quote a lot because it's just like, okay, let's say you're inspired by someone and like you're just like, okay, this is what works for them, but you don't like this certain thing that they do, and it's just like, I'm not going to use that. But then like you add your own little flair to it, and then like that's how you like are able to grow. Like it's called modeling success.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's not like you're copying, but you're like modeling success from that certain thing. So I really like that quote a lot. And then like there's tons of books. Like there's The Art of Expressing the Human Body, The Tao of Jeet Kune Do, stuff like that. I love so I read all Bruce Lee's books. They're so freaking great and so inspirational.
Yes.
But like I would say definitely that absorb quote is my favorite quote because it just hit me in a way where it's just like, that's how I live my thing. Like, because you don't ever want to be a copycat where like you just say like, oh, this is blatantly ripping someone off, but like you notice someone did something great and you're like, huh, that is really good. I wonder if I could do something similar but not like steal this person's flow. And it's just like, okay, yeah, and then you just do what you want to do. So yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I think for me, one quote that has helped me a lot when I'm feeling anxious is "This too shall pass."
Oh yeah.
It was said to me by a good friend once about how like the worst time in your life you've made it through, and whenever things are bad or whatever, nothing is permanent. Like life will keep going, and wherever you are, you're not truly stuck because whether you like it or not, time will push you forward. And it's scary, but it's comforting. And I actually, one thing that I like to do is I have like a little thing of quotes that whenever I hear a quote that I like, I write it down. And I have a list that I think I'll read a few of them to you guys because they help me whenever I need like a pick-me-up. I can like look at these quotes and they always get me to a better place. So, and most of them are from Vlogbrother videos, actually. The Vlogbrothers, Hank Green and John Green, are really inspiring to me. And John Green has a lot of quotes that I like, so I'm going to read you a few of these. The first one is, "No matter what you do, the tides of time will wash away your sandcastle. So there's no sense in reaching for some foolhardy notion of immortality when there's real work to be done with real people right now." That's something that's really important to me because whenever I get asked the question about like, do you want to be like remembered forever for all this, and like would you want to be immortal or like have power to like live forever, and it's like, no, I don't really care about what happens when I'm gone, because when I'm gone, I'm gone. What I want is to live a life that is present with the people that I love and do the most that I can while I can. And if people remember it, that's cool, but I want to be known today while I'm here to know these people and to love these people so I can give them love. I don't want to just be, or like, I don't really care after I'm gone. Yeah?
Yeah, because I'm just like, I want them to speak my name for eternity. I want them to be a verb. Like,
I mean,
yo, dude, you're on some Jaxblade shit. Yo, Jaxblade. Dude, you're on some Jaxblade shit. That is some crazy, like,
I don't mind
I
if
love
people
that
wanted
idea
to
of just
say,
being a verb. Of just like, oh yeah, like, oh, he's so, that is so cool. Like,
well, I want people to say that about me when I'm alive. I want them to say that to me. I want them to say that about me where I can hear it. I don't really care. If I'm gone, it doesn't matter. But if I'm here and people are inspired, I want to be able to help them while I can. and I want to be able to get help from people while I can. Like, so yeah, it's more important to me to do real things with real people today and be present in every conversation. Like, one thing that I try to do is whenever I'm talking to anybody, I try to really put myself into that place that I'm in. Whoever I'm talking to, whatever I'm doing, I try to really make myself present in it, because that moment is all you have. And
yeah, but I again,
yeah,
like for me,
yeah.
it's like I say it's different because I just like I like the idea of just like because like right now, like this is something my old coach told me is just like right now we are sitting on the shoulders of giants, like people who just like they went
Yes.
out their way to do something for the world, and now it's just like, oh yeah, like I decide to stand up for slaves, and now like, you know what, all black people
Yeah.
free. If I didn't choose to do that, well, we'd still be, you know, do that. Or like, oh, I decide, oh, I want to make an electricity source that is going to long last for eternity. Oh, you know what, fine, let's just 500 years later we're still using candles or something like that. So I think to me that whole notion, now again, I have nothing wrong with your notion of just like living the moment. I think that's really like beautiful and precious, stuff like that. I think for me it's just like that whole thing of like you are someone who can leave behind
Yeah.
something that can help a lot of people generations
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Like that inspires me a lot of just like, oh yeah, this person, they did so much and they were able to accomplish this, and now that they're
Oh,
gone,
definitely.
it's just like you have
I
left this behind.
when
It's like,
I
that to me
say that I
inspires
don't
it.
care, when I say that I don't care about what happens when I'm gone, what I mean by that isn't that I hope that, or I don't care what happens to other people. I'm just saying it's not important to me that my name is necessarily remembered, but if you are living your life helping the people around you while you can, whether that's through education or planting seeds that you'll never see grow, that's what I mean, in the sense of like me loving someone today and me helping them in the way that they need to be helped today will help them in the future. And I really love the quote about like planting seeds that you'll never see grow. And even if you never get to take credit for those seeds, the fact that they were planted will help someone one day. And that's kind of where I'm going with that. So it's not that like I don't believe in long term and like helping people even after you're gone, but like what you do today and making sure that you're solving the problems of today in a way that they need to be solved, like the best that you can do, it'll be built upon like shoulders of giants. Like people will build upon the work you do, but you have to do the work that you can do in this moment. Like and a lot, honestly, when you think about people in those old times, like a lot of the stuff they were doing, maybe they didn't know how long of a lasting impact it would have, but they knew it had to be done so that at least their children could benefit and build on it from there. They didn't know where it would go. They didn't know how successful it would be, but they knew it was something that needed to be done, and only people in the present could do it. And that is, I think, beautiful. And I have another quote that I would like to share that is a personal favorite of mine as well. There is so much luck in this world, and no one should ever forget that. And we also have to depend on the good judgment of strangers and help from our friends. But also you have to hope to go on, even when you've lost more games than you've won, and you've been down so far that a tie feels like winning. You have to pick up the ball and run it back to midfield and believe in spite of it that this game is still winnable. And that was really beautiful to me, that sentiment of like, even like if you're not giving it your everything at every moment, what's the point? Like you have to always fight as if there's a chance that you can win. Because if you don't, if you do nothing will happen. Like, but if you consistently go through life thinking like I can do this, then yeah. I really like that quote. And okay, I just want to share one more because these quotes are just making me feel super awesome stuff. Okay. This one says, "No, you don't deserve guilt or money or beautiful fall days or really funny internet memes. I don't deserve my guilt, and I don't deserve the advantages I've been giving because deserving is the wrong frame. I have all that stuff. And the question isn't what did I do to deserve it, it's what do I do with it? Do I take my guilt and let it weigh me down and terrify me from ever feeling good? Or do I take it and let it encourage me to do good stuff with the advantages I've been given?" Because I think there can be a lot of times in life where we look at what we have and we think, oh God, do I deserve to be here? Did I do enough work to get here? It's like, whatever you have, but it's what you do with it that makes you the person you are. It's how you treat others that makes you the person you are, not whatever status or whatever that you have. And there's a lot of situations in life that there's a lot of luck, like from how you were born to where you were born, that can give you certain privileges and advantages and in certain aspects. And like, you have to just use those to make things better if you can. Like, you shouldn't just sit on them. You should actively be the best person you can be. Do what you can do with what you have in the moment when you have it. And hopefully it'll make an impact and it'll plant a seed that other people can see one day, even if you don't get to see the full growth of it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree. No, you did a good job. No, I agree.
Yeah, those are like the quotes that, and I have a few more, but I will not share those. Those are for Katy.
Those are for later.
Those are for later. But yeah, that's like a really fun, sentimental way, I guess, to end the podcast. But yeah, those are quotes that inspire me. And actually, Jordan, do you have any other quotes that inspire you? Have you been thinking on any?
Oh yeah, there's like a ton of like quotes I have that inspire me. Like again, it's like that one I mentioned before of the "Don't tell people your plans, show them your results." Like I think that that is like one of my biggest things. Like a lot of my quotes are very much like, okay, you can like stop whining, like keep the work, or like a quote I heard recently. Hirosashi actually told me this. I actually loved it a lot. Was this quote this dad told his kid where it was like you believed in Santa Claus for 5 years, you can believe in yourself for 10 seconds. And it's just like, yeah, I love that quote. It's just like, I fucking love that quote. Like, it's just, it's so
I
good.
like that.
It's so good. Like, and there's so many quotes like that are just like, no, because my quotes are more, no, you are a badass and you need to get up and start working like it. And then like, stop complaining, stop whining, stop banging excuses. Like that whole tangent I went on, I want to say a couple weeks ago when I was talking to my bro Mike about like, all right, stop being a punk and stuff like that. Like that's very much a thing of like, all right, you're not a baby anymore. There's no reason for you to be whining and crying. All right, the only person who can whine and cry is a baby because like that's its only recourse. Like it's got a diaper, it needs changing. All right, boo hoo, you need to get to work and focus on this because life cares about your results and doesn't care about anything. It's just like it's a tough lesson and it is a harsh lesson, but it's one of those like, yeah, fuck, you know, just some people just need to say the shit that, you know, people need to say it. And I really, those type of motivational talks speak to me a lot where it's just like, yeah, you're right. Like I need to be more focused and less soft and stuff like that. So I love those type of quotes. Yeah, those inspire me.
Oh man, I feel all like inspired and stuff now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. I guess this is a good place to end today's episode. Jordan, where can they find you?
You can find me at Jordan Jaxblade Downs on Facebook, Jaxblade Fitness on Twitter, Jaxblade every single place else. You type in that name, you'll find me. And where can they find you?
You can find me at KaniDay Official on Twitter and Instagram, KaniDay Cosplay on Facebook, KaniDay on YouTube, Kruby Productions on YouTube, and Dr. Crafty on YouTube. And you can find us at BronyCon this week!
Yeah, whoa! We're gonna go Katy the ropes. It'll be fun.
It's gonna be awesome!
It's gonna be so much fun. Cool.
I can't wait. I'm gonna go ride a horse. That's what we do, right? We're gonna go ride horses.
Yep, sure. Yep.
Woo!
And then, you get to draw your own cutie mark on the horse, too. So, you get to go,
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
See you soon.
See you next week. After the final con, and I'll be cried out. So yeah.
After the final con?
Bye-bye.
Nay.
Won't you be my neighbor?
Won't you be my neighbor?
Bye, folks.
Amazing. Bye.